Yesterday on the channel, I talked about how our brain creates blind spots and restricts us from growing. And at the end of yesterday's video, I had a few more thoughts and I was thinking, how do I frame them? When should I frame them? And I was not expecting to do that today. But then as I was driving and it's already getting dark, I realized that something did click in my mind. I said, okay, I'm going to, reach my destination, and then I'll attempt to record this and see if this makes sense. If you're watching this video for the very first time, I'm going to drop yesterday's video right here on the top. Go check that out. And also towards the end, I'm also going to drop the video too. So you're totally new, then check that out. That yesterday's video, today's video is going to make sense. If you're completely new to this channel, watching this video for the very first time, you're not a subscriber, then I show up here every day. We talk about success, but primarily we talk about psychology, entrepreneurship, relationships, finances, and everything and anything within the category of self-improvement. So, and when I talk entrepreneurship, I specifically create videos for coaches, consultants, authors, speakers, trainers. Okay. So that said, now that we have gotten that out of our way, I talked about growth yesterday, and I started to realize that, in many books, across many training, seminars, workshops that I have attended, and even that I have delivered myself, I always addressed growth as a tax. Sometimes very seriously and sometimes sarcastically, whatever in whatever context it is. But growth historically has been seen as a tax. Now, why? Because obviously it's not free, and it charges in ways that money cannot measure. So, for example, if you have a new job, or you have a bigger role and responsibility, or you are trying to deepen a relationships, then all these things, they cost you beyond money. So there is a lot more you have to pay. So getting into a relationship is there is a price of admission you pay. Getting a job, there is a price for admission you pay. But once you are there, even forget about paying the price for the admission. Even that's going to cost you a lot. But then once you are there, you will be tested. You'll be twisted and tweaked in ways that you can't even measure. Money cannot measure. So there are many unseen taxes we pay, and I'm going to touch maybe one or two, maybe three here on this video. Obviously, there are more. Listen, I'm trying to see how I look on screen as I'm seeing the screen here. It's very dark. I'll try to lighten up this video, but if not, then do me a favor, don't watch this video. Just listen what I'm sharing with you. Okay, stay with the message. Don't worry about the video and all that. Okay, so that's it. The three unseen taxes. The first and the foremost is what's called a stress tax. Okay. This is the mental, emotional part of you when challenged, starts to fall apart, break apart, and you still somehow sustain all that. You keep on pushing your comfort zone and you want to get there. So you go through a lot through that process. Then comes the identity tax. Okay. The identity tax demands that you wake up every day and you kind of give up identities that are not serving you anymore and take on identity that is more relevant in today's context, or yesterday's context is over, today's context is new. So you take up that new identity, you move forward. The shedding of old roles and responsibilities and taking up new roles and responsibilities, all that, it comes with within this identity tax bracket. And then third one is the relationship tax that you have to pay. Why? Because as you are getting and moving on with life and doing things, some of your relationships some of your bonds will be tested, and sometimes your bonds will be broken too. So Now that we know that these are the taxes we have to pay, how do we prepare to pay these taxes? Where do we have the reserves? Where do you bring the money to pay for these taxes? Um, the first and the foremost, let's talk about the identity. The stress tax. Um, well, you build routines. Well, first and the foremost, you expect stress. That's the given. Right? That's the baseline. You expect stress in anything and everything that you do. I'm going to be done with this video. I'm going to walk into a meeting. There is stress in that meeting, and I'm expecting stress. The first and the fourth. So stress, the first one. You expect stress, but then the first one is you build routines to that helps you. Once that now that you expected the stress to happen, you build routines to prevent. And then when you do go through stress, you need to have some recovery routines. So you build to preempt, to prevent. So you build routines, and once you experience stress, you build routines to recover from them. So go work out, meditate, and all that. And then once you experience stress, you come back and you meditate, exercise, whatever. So not all the routines are the ones that you build to prevent is not the same as you build to recover, but then different people use different things, but you get the idea now. Okay. You anticipate identity shifts in your pursuit for growth. The hard part is this one. What I found out is that I wake up every day in the morning and I have to introduce myself to myself. That's the hardest part. When I do that successfully, I go out and I can introduce myself to anyone, including this video. Hard. I have to wake up in the morning and have to introduce myself to you. Even though you are a subscriber, even though you watch these videos, let's say, still I have to. Hard. But I try to. That's the hard part. Recording this video is very easy. I'm distracted. I have to go inside and all, but I just want to get this video out because the sunlight is going away. Okay? You prepare for relationships. How do you prepare? You communicate. Okay, as much as you can in relationships, but you got to expect there is going to be resistance. You got to expect that there is going to be some challenges. And not everything that you say and the way you say will be welcomed. I think that's the right way to say that. Okay. Now, let me reframe the loss for a second. Right? How do you reframe loss? It's for a second, let's assume that growth is a fund. The growth tax is a fund. So the fund grows when you pay or there is no growth. Okay, it's a fund, you got to pay for it, and if you're not paying into the fund, then the fund is not growing. And I want you to see it that way. You see as if it's a container or something like a fund or a bunch of money, and if you pay into that, then over time it grows, and you're also putting more into it. It just gets to a very big chunk. If you see that if you see it that way, you see it as a fund, then you reduce guilt when things don't happen. When there is a loss, then you don't feel guilty. You have a different frame of looking at it. And if you are in some trouble and you need some money, then obviously you can reach out and take some from the fund. But you leave the fund, you keep on paying into the fund keeps growing. Bottom line message is this. If you are a student of self-improvement, if you are seeking success and you want to get to a place where others are not going or have chosen not to go, and you want to separate and build yourself differently, then this is something that you cannot avoid. That growth is going to test you and tweak you and break you and mold you and shatter you and rebuild you in ways that you will stand out, and you'll be considered different. You'll be considered unique. You have to go through this process. Okay, I'm going to stop here. I have to go run. I might have not done a good job with today's video, but if I have, let me know. If I did not, also let me know. If you like this video, I'm going to reach a few people. But if you subscribe to this channel, then I show up here every day. I'll be in front of you. And again, do all that if you find value. If not, I tell every subscriber, everybody who watches this video, I tell them, listen, if you're not finding value, don't subscribe to this. So that's all for now. Wherever you are, you be safe, and I'll be with you as early as tomorrow. Bye now.